Welcome to another episode of Ungraded. Today we have Dr. Liu, the Dean at the College of Architecture, Arts, and Design at Virginia Tech in the US. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to have you chat with us today, and we just took a tour. Thanks for being patient with us.
Oh, it's my honor to be here. Thank you for the hospitality.
And congratulations on a new collaboration with Mahindra University as well. We are very proud of our upcoming schools and programs. The architecture program promises to be one that's going to be very popular. We're already seeing the seeds of that. So, and thank you, therefore, for your input on that as well. I'd love to hear more about that from you. I mean, how do you see this program, and how do you see it developing?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I think we've been thinking, I've been talking about that question. I'm really excited. We are really excited to be part of this uh, endeavor to build a brand new school of architecture. Right now, it's a center for architecture, and there are quite a few schools out there.
Right.
And but again, I think Mahindra gonna do it differently. And Virginia Tech, actually, the program of architecture gonna be 100 years old
Yeah.
next year.
Wow.
So we are celebrating that. So it's interesting that the 100-year program is kind of working with the program just about to start. And so over the 100 years, we see lots of evolution, see lots of changes, and there's something we learn along the way. Sometimes there's something we did it right, something we did not do it perfectly at that time. So that we will be happy to share that. But in the meantime, there's some common ground between Mahindra and Virginia Tech, because I think we are both comprehensive university,
Hmm.
and it's
That's
not
correct.
focused on any special area. Actually, that's a very good environment for the student to study, to practice creativity and design. So I think this is something that we are excited about, the opportunity that we might work together, and also I think uh, the Mahindra also in there's certain areas that it is doing pretty well. And for
Yes.
example, the Center for Sustainability
Yes.
and the Center for Entrepreneurship. And
Correct.
so I think, and including the School of Digital Media, I think this is all uh, that in a higher level
The
of
ecosystem.
the
Yes. Yeah.
ecosystem and at the university level instead of under the college.
Right.
So
Right.
that's, I
Right.
can
Right.
see
Yeah.
that the influence over the entire campus. That's exciting. That's
That
something we're interested to learn from.
see that observation right there is literally what we are trying to achieve. That some of the centers need to flow across campus like water over rocks, where they are, you know, useful to almost every school. Certainly, the centers for sustainability,
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, and innovation, they are present in curricula across the campus because those are something that we cannot do without.
Mhm.
Certainly, sustainability is something that we cannot do without. But one of the specialties that Mahindra brings to our kind of ecosystem in India is the concept of entrepreneurship, which at best we are in India at the green shoots level. A lot of the technology universities and institutes do have that kind of thing, but the idea that even a liberal arts kind of school such as ours should be entrepreneurial in some of our input is kind of new. And so that actually leads me to ask you something based on what you said about a comprehensive university. Why is a comprehensive university important? Why do you think that we need to be multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary, which is my understanding of comprehensive, if that's correct? But
Yeah, I think that's a very good question that we all been thinking and elaborating on that. And I think certainly a lot of people in academia have been saying that, okay, universities tend to be very siloed, right?
yes,
Department, program. So that's one thing. Let's look at from educator point of view.
That's
or
right.
researcher point of view. But if we look at the student
Student
point of
point of
view, so if we look at the 4 years or 3 or 5 years education, the day when the student graduate, receive the diploma. So we look at that. If we do some analysis on the students' competency,
view. Yes.
and I think today's expectation from the industry, from the profession, from the entire profession world is that the layers and layers and layers expectation.
Hmm.
We like the student have the fundamental skills, the good problem solving,
Yes.
and the knowledge, technology, knowledge of engineering, knowledge of science, just everything. And but also, and the industry really like the student to be able to work as a team,
Right.
as a team member,
Mm.
and not just the team of the student's own discipline,
Yeah.
but also be working with every discipline. So look at all the layers
Mm.
of the competency that the students are supposed to have. And it's the layers that think about a cake.
Yeah.
So I think in the past that we might have a cake that every slice got different flavor, different color. And now I think probably you don't see the bakery selling that cake. Right? The bakery is selling cake that have multiple layers. They have cream, they have chocolate, they
Mm.
have different things. And I think that's expectation
Yeah.
from the industry, from employer, that they want the student to be able to have this kind of different layers
Right.
competency.
Right.
So that's why comprehensive university will have the opportunity to offer that. But the other thing is, it's not necessarily, certainly we know that the jack of all trades
Mm-hmm.
could be master of none. But certainly we are not saying that it become, we are training generalists.
Yes.
But I think we are thinking is that it could be the students go deep
Yes.
in their discipline,
In
in
one
their
discipline.
learning, but also be
Yeah.
able
Yeah.
to appreciate, to collaborate with all different other disciplines. And the other thing is, you might think that, for example, in Virginia Tech, we have almost 100 departments
Mm.
and just hundreds of programs. It's no way for students to touch on every single
That's true.
program. But the fact is, the students on the same campus. They go to dining hall together.
Yes.
They're on the same campus. They work together. They
Right.
go to the same club, and that kind of interaction, that kind of engagement,
Yes.
just prepares students to be a better cake. That when you have a bite, you got everything. So that's I think that's a benefit a comprehensive university could offer.
What a great metaphor you use, because that I think explains it all. And also because students, I mean, it's not collaborations between disciplines alone, but between students, for example, between learners and like between researchers. But students, as you said, walk together on the campus. That's one kind of collaboration that that needs to be there. Do you think we have enough of that? I mean, when I say we, you can interpret it in whichever way you want. I mean, the system, for example, in the US, does it allow you to do it? And I know we were talking earlier about how Virginia Tech itself has become more and more comprehensive over the years and decades. But is that a successful model for you?
That's we all are trying to learn from that, and it's basically the challenge, and we are trying to figure out how to work things better. In the higher education, I think many institutions in the United States and Europe over the years they've been encouraging interdisciplinary collaboration. But one thing is, in many universities, the faculty members' annual review,
Yes,
annual promotion, the criteria are heavily reliant on the accomplishment in their own discipline.
that's
So
correct.
that is still, I think we can see some changes already, but it's not as fast as the industry would like to see.
Right.
So that's the thing that I think we are trying to make adjustment, but also I think we probably to do a better service
Yeah.
to the world, we need to
Well,
be moving faster
correct.
on that.
But that probably also is a factor of the fact that previous generations probably were more invested in their own discipline. So to make them think more interdisciplinarily also might need a little bit of retraining. I don't know,
And, uh,
or
and
at least
also
a
yeah.
reorientation, apart from the appraisal system is a great example of how to get them to do it. But,
Exactly. So because also we still trying to figure out, and we as a higher education community still trying to figure out how to measure the success of interdisciplinary collaboration.
correct.
Because some people might think if we go interdisciplinary, which means your depth of your discipline might not be deep enough.
Deep enough.
But certainly we know that this is 21st century,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much all the new knowledge in every disciplines could create it has, I think, kind of been diminishing.
Yes.
The new knowledge, new innovation, new excitement happen when disciplines touch on each other. And but in higher education, we are not having the system in many institutions. Not
Yes.
all institutions we do not have a mechanism to incentivize.
That is fascinating, especially because education has almost always lagged behind technological innovations and so forth. Although they need to be at the forefront of the actual social changes or sociological changes that come with it. And I think that this would be a perfect example of how education now needs to start taking that same lead by intertwining technology with humanities and social sciences. I think that is something that, I mean, just to summarize, I guess that's one strand of your thought, very complex though. So I was very curious to know, because we have so much to learn here at Mahindra, but certainly that's also because we want to learn. I mean, if you get the drift, because sometimes um, it's hard to change old systems, and we are constantly trying to learn and get with both being contemporary as well as also grounded, stay grounded, and that's always a challenge, because that challenge trickles down all the way to the classroom, really. But of course, it is also an institutional responsibility or a concern. Yeah, so
Yeah, exactly. And first of all, I really appreciate that you mentioned that as a university, Mahindra is dedicated to learn,
yes,
the interest in learning, because the last thing an institution need to have is they decided,
everything.
they learn enough. They know everything.
We know
Nobody knows
everything.
everything. And certainly the other thing is, certainly I think the drive to learn is one thing, but sometimes internal, why we decided, we realize we need to learn and to grow. But also sometimes if we are connected enough with outside world, they're gonna ask us, they're gonna drive us to grow and to learn. And I just read for 2 or 3 weeks, I've been thinking about one thing. I just read a report published by the World Economic Forum. It's a big survey. And so if they're looking at the expectation of the future workforce.
Right.
And if they do a survey published in 2025, they look at the skills college graduates have, and between 25 and 2030. And it's interesting that certainly we all know problem solving, critical thinking, the technical skills.
Right.
But creative thinking is number 4. In that all the 20, 30 skills, and it's 20, 30 is pretty interesting. And also in the survey, they also find the survey thousands of firms, and they say that the skills will be least replaced by AI. Creative thinking is on the bottom, number 4. Wow. So it's highly demanded, but also it's least replaced. So that's something that we all need to take into consideration to reflect on how to build a program.
That's kind of music to my ears. You can realize why, and I'm sure to yours too, because both your college as well as our school are invested in that exact intersection of creative, critical, and technological competencies. And that's so interesting that you use that word repeatedly, because competency is something that we're also trying to build. But that's all the time we would have today. It's so unfortunate that we can't keep talking about this, because I know we could talk for hours. But thank you so much for being with us today.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations on all the success you built.
Thank you so much, and to you too.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks for watching us.